Well, have any good stories to tell?
Suppose it depends on what you think's good. Most folks want to hear about Hoover Dam and Boulder City, but it's a long story. If you want some tall tales about hunting down slavers or busting up gangs, talk to one of the younger rangers.
There must be something good the Rangers have done that you're proud of.
It's kind of a long one, but all right. About 25 years ago, a group of NCR settlers pushed way south into Baja.
Hello guys, and welcome back to some more Fallout New Vegas. Yeah. You better hope so. Hello, how do I even pronounce that? Ohanrahan?
Y'all sure are a big old hero. I gotta write my mama and tell her I met you.
Okay, can you tell me about your squad mates?
They're mostly pretty nice. Poindexter showed me how to make fireworks. Raz kind of scares me sometimes, but I don't mind. He's had a hard life.
And how did you end up in the army?
Well, as it turns out, we had a string of bad harvests a few years back. Pa said he couldn't afford to feed but 3 youngins or we'd starve. As the biggest one, it was my job to go join the army so's my sisters could eat and so's we wouldn't all be killed by raiders and Jesus would love us. It's all right,
You're
I
like the
guess.
country farmer boy.
I don't like all the fighting we gotta do, though.
Why are you so afraid of fighting? It's like asking why walking requires you to take a leg forward. Why are you so afraid of fighting?
I ain't scared. I just don't like hurting folks is all. Ma always used to tell me, boy, you're the biggest and the strongest, so you mind yourself. Every day she told me that. Guess I done took it to heart.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel the same way. I just couldn't see myself hurting someone else like that. At least taking a life. What do you think of Camp Golf?
Oh, it's a fine place. The lake is real pretty, and we don't get bothered much by them Legion fellers.
Okay, that's weird coming from an NCR soldier. Tell me a little more about yourself.
Well, I was born on a farm out in California. Weren't much. Me, Ma, and Pa, my 2 sisters, and about 40 acres of corn and Brahmin. Didn't ever have no problems, really, except for some lean years. Then I joined up and got shipped out here to New Vegas.
Okay, well, goodbye then.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo to you too. You seem very nice.
Hey,
Poindex, I heard about you from the other friend.
I'm assuming you aren't associated with the Army or the Rangers. What can I do for you?
I'm sort of associated with them. I'm not a I'm a mercenary. Are you in charge around here?
In a strictly official capacity, no.
No.
However, as I am by far the most intelligent and resourceful figure on this base, I feel it's safe to say the soldiers here look up to me.
So that's a no then.
I suppose if you must stick with your narrow, parochial view of in charge, then yes, it's a no. Are we done?
Can you tell me about yourself?
To what purpose? It's highly unlikely you'd understand anything I'd say. Suffice to say, I'm a certified genius, and when I'm discharged from this pit of testosterone and failure, I'll have all the money I could ever need.
Okay, and how'd a guy like you end up in the army?
It's a simple idea. The Army offers fiscal security and generous benefits at the cost of substantial personal risk, if you're on the front line. If you perform too poorly, they'll scrub you out. Perform too well, and you get sent to the front lines. All I have to do is ride that mediocrity gradient to a cushy, do-nothing job miles away from the war.
I see, okay. So the benefits outweigh the negatives of being part of the army. As long as you control your position in the army.
I somehow suspect you'll be back to converse with me later.
You probably will. Smart ass. Alright.
We won't go quietly. The Legion can count on that.
Hello, and Rez, hello.
Oh, shit. Here comes the brown noser. What do you want?
Excuse me? What did you say about my nose? Know anything about your squad mates?
We don't talk too much, mostly. Poindexter's a smart-ass prick.
I said that too,
Hanrahan's a big
except for the last
pussy.
word.
Ain't good for shit in a fight. And Mags? Well, Mags is cut out for something other than soldiering. You dig?
Sounds like a bunch of winners.
Whatever. Not like I need any of them. I do just fine on my own.
Well, and you're a lovely crew. Anyway, what's your story?
Ain't much to tell. Grew up out west, in the boneyard. Heard of it? Yeah, not
The
many people
boneyard.
have. Wasn't really a good place for kids, you know? I joined up to get out. My family's still back there.
Why are you in the army?
Shit, man, it was this or the Fiends. And Fiends don't last too long in the NCR. At least this way, the badasses with the top shelf guns are on my side.
Can you tell me anything about Camp Golf then?
What do you want to know? Whole place used to be some kind of rich bastard resort back before the war. Now the Rangers use the old resort and we grunts get to live in tents. Fucking typical.
Just be happy you have a tent. Goodbye.
Right.
Morning. Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
I wish I
Go
had a
to
first recon
Misfits tent. Hello, I'm looking for someone named... What was the name? It was a very short name. Ranger.
Morning.
Oh well. I'll go in here then. Sergeant McGreedy.
I just got word that First Recon is being mobilized to Nelson. God forbid we get any reinforcements here, right?
Well, you don't need it. How do you end up in Camp Golf?
I've been here since the first push into Vegas. Back in the day, this camp was the hotspot for conflicts with the Legion, Raider tribes, you name it. These days, I spend most of my time trying to beat a little discipline into the soldiers under my command. They've gotten soft with no action.
Funny, I thought this was where they sent the washouts and losers, so what do you do now that the fighting's died down?
Mostly drill the troops, try to keep the discipline up and combat readiness high. It's not the easiest job in the world. Soldiers without a mission get bored very easily. Still, with the Legion just across the river, we have to be ready.
Okay, and how do you like serving the army?
Man, it's my life. I joined up when I was 16. I don't know how to do anything else.
You joined at 16 and you're still a sergeant?
Yeah, well, I didn't want to get promoted out of the field. I didn't join up to drive a desk.
Sounds like you're a little disappointed in your troops, which I am too, by the way.
Disappointed? We call them the Misfits for a reason. They're undisciplined, lazy, and they have absolutely no esprit de corps. The squad leader's got some promise, kid named Mags. But as for the rest, I don't see much hope. I'm going to make them shape up if it kills me, though. Or them, for that matter.
I mean, maybe I can help.
You're welcome to try. Hell, maybe they'll listen to somebody they don't see as an authority figure.
Okay, goodbye then.
Yeah, whatever.
Legs of our foul ups. Okay, let's see what we can do.
Wish I had a First Recon guy looking after me.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure. Alright, time to train some newbies in the NCR, I guess. Hello again.
Y'all sure are a big old hero. I gotta write my mama and tell her I met you.
Sergeant McGreedy asked me to talk to you about getting your squad in shape.
To me? I'll tell you what I think this squad needs. A little more basic human niceness.
Human niceness?
That's right. Folks just don't talk to other folks. And everybody's always cross with each other.
So you think I should find ways to convince the Misfits to get along?
That'd be swell. Only if they knew the idea came from me, they probably wouldn't take you serious no more. So maybe you ought to think about it first.
Okay.
And I sure hope you're more convincing than I am, or they ain't gonna listen.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay.
Goodbye then.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo to you too. Convince Max to respect the squad to work
Nelson's
with.
back in our hands.
Hello
You've
there.
managed to become extraordinarily well liked by the top brass. You should exploit that for your own gain wherever possible.
Uh-huh. Sure.
I somehow suspect you'll be back to
Yeah, I will. Oh, are you the one Oh, Max, there we
Hell
go.
of a battle at Nelson. I'm impressed our troops survived.
Tell me a little about yourself.
Not much to tell, really. I grew up in New Reno, joined up, took my shot at being a ranger, didn't make it, so I'm stuck with this crew of jokers.
How come you didn't make it into the Rangers?
Gee, I don't know. Maybe because I'm saddled with the worst damn unit in the NCR Army. Think that might have something to do with it?
Sounds like you aren't too fond of your squad mates.
Yeah. I mean, no. They're okay people, but they don't care, you know? They don't have any ambition, no drive. They're slacking off, and that reflects badly on me.
Well, maybe if you try to lead by example instead of tearing them down.
You really think so? Hell, I guess it's worth a shot.
Okay, how do you end up assigned to Camp Golf, though?
Easy. This is where they send all the fuck-ups and people they don't want. But hey, it's not like I'm bitter or anything.
Why did you join the army, then?
I guess I wanted to make something of myself, you know? Be the best of the best. I wanted to be a ranger, but guess this is as close as I get.
Well, it's better than nothing, right? Goodbye.
Sure. See you around.
Okay, so squad leader taken care of. What about you, Reyes? Oh, weird sound.
Oh, shit, here comes the brown noser. What you want?
What does that even mean? You know anything about your squad? Oh, so I said the same. That's charming. It's good to know team building is alive and well.
Shit, maybe you're right. Guess I ought to give him a shot.
Alright, okay. So I need to talk to all the squad mates, eh? Poindexter, hello.
Managed to become
Are you in charge around here? Oh, here we go. Since you're so respected, maybe you can help me get this unit into shape?
You're trying to appeal to my ego. I must admit, it's an effective tactic. All right, I'll help. But
Appeal
only
to my
because I
ego.
want to see if it's even possible.
Okay, goodbye then.
I somehow suspect you'll...
Alright, I convinced them all to work together. All good.
Y'all sure are a big old hero. I got a rep.
How's the human niceness cub working out, by the way?
Boy, the squad sure is working together a lot better now. I think we're gonna be A-okay.
That's good to hear. Alright, goodbye then.
Toodaloo.
I trust you're satisfied with the squad's newfound teamwork. It's almost entirely my own.
I thought all that touchy-feely teamwork bullshit was kind of fruity. It kind of feels good knowing my squad's got my back.
The squad
First
really seems to be
recon's at
working
Camp
together
Forlorn
better.
Hope.
It's
Now
nice
we've got
for a
chance
change.
to hold it.
Okay, that's great.
First recons at Camp
Now we
Forlorn
got a chance to
Hope.
Oh,
Now
oh,
we've got
did
a
you just
chance to
repeat
hold it.
yourself? Okay, alright. Alright, Sergeant, I made your troop shape up.
First recons at Camp Forlorn Hope.
You have any other stuff for me to do, or can I be on my way? Where'd he go? Oh, he's right there.
Well, their test scores are only marginally improved, but I'm hearing good things about the Misfits' teamwork.
That's nice. Okay, is that it? Is that all?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, I'll take it then. If anyone asks, it was Reyes that did that. Medical tent.
Glad to see you. Need a patch job?
Yeah, no, I actually don't.
Sir?
Okay, all good then. Is that all down? It might be all down here. Well, time for me to get further up then. So, who is actually in here and how do I get inside? Over here?
I wish I had a first recon guy looking after me.
Nice gun. Alright, let us go. Alright, well, it certainly looks like a resort. Hello, anyone in here I can talk to? Ranger, 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 more ranger, okay. What about over here? No one? Okay. That picture stands out way too much. What the... I got a VIP key card here.
First recon's in Camp Forlorn Hope.
Oh no, you're a military clerk.
Legion camp got razed to the ground.
Yeah, again, that was me.
Recon's in Camp Forlorn
Everything you hear about is probably me.
Looks like we booted the Legion out of Nelson. About damn time.
What happened here?
Looks like we booted the Legion out of Nelson. About damn time.
How is this stealing for anyone, by the way? I mean, I know people live here and everything, but come on. What are you gonna use all of this for? Do you guys have like work offices or something that's not somewhere completely weird? Is most of your work just straight up down here?
We won't go quietly. The Legion can count on that.
Okay, what was the talk about like the big brass being in here? I don't see anyone. Unless I missed someone. Maybe this up here? There's someone. Chief Hanlon.
Back west, you don't see too many of these. Lakes, I mean. Natural or man-made. Any kind, really. We neglected the dams or pumped all the water out a long time ago. Owens, Isabella, the San Luis. Drained the aquifers of everything they had. Just a lot of mud and dust now. It's a different feeling watching the sun come up over the water. Takes some getting used to. But if you're here long enough, it starts to seem normal. That's what a ranger's life is now, looking east. You must be the courier folks have been talking about. Word on the radio is that someone wronged you back in Good Springs.
Yep.
The Mojave has a way of burning decent people up. But it sounds like you've done right by the NCR. It's appreciated. Now what can I do for you?
Well, first I would like to get
Adios.
a good angle on you, so I can talk to you face to face, for the most part.
You've come back to see the chief. Nice of you to humor the radio tender. What can I do for you?
Oh, can you tell me about yourself?
Folks around here call me the chief, but Hanlon's just fine. The Rangers run themselves pretty well, but I try to lend a hand. Mostly administrative work, helping coordinate intel on the radio. That and keeping an eye on the fires growing across the water.
Fires?
Legion fires. They burn high wherever the Legion goes. Caesar's a hard man to figure out, but he always wants you to know when more troops are at your front door.
Okay, let's talk about something else then.
Shoot.
What do you know about Caesar, or Kaiser, whatever his name is?
The best of the best, worst of the worst. He came out of NCR, one of the followers of the apocalypse. Like a lot of the followers, he went out in the wilderness with a partner to try to help those who needed helping. Not much different from how the Rangers used to be, except with books and medicine instead of guns.
Where did he go?
Out to the Grand Canyon. He met a missionary from Utah, a man by the name of Joshua Graham. Graham helped translate for the followers and the tribes. All three of them got nabbed by the Blackfoots down there, back when they were still at war with every other tribe in the Southwest.
And how did the follower wind up becoming Kaiser?
Somewhere along the way, he realized he needed to educate the Blackfoots, or they were going to get wiped out with the rest of the tribe. Showed them how to use guns, how to make explosives. Once he taught the Blackfoots a thing or two, they needed him. And he no longer needed the followers, NCR, or anyone else. He decided he could remake the tribes of the Southwest whether they wanted it or not. He became Caesar, and Joshua Graham became his legate, his right hand. And that's where Graham stayed until Hoover Dam.
What happened to Graham after Hoover Dam?
Losing the dam was the worst defeat the Legion ever suffered. Graham had been with Caesar since the beginning, but he had to set an example. The Praetorians covered Graham in pitch, lit him on fire, and down into the Grand Canyon he went.
So that was the end of Graham?
It's not that clear-cut. You have to understand, Graham was the toughest son of a gun anyone around these parts had ever seen. Before Hoover, we had 5 kill reports on Graham from Rangers and 1st Recon sharpshooters who tried to take him out. Some folks think he's still alive. Call him the Burned Man.
Okay, are the Blackfoots part of the Legion then, or is it just that they are the Legion?
Yes and no. The Blackfoots don't exist anymore. Just like any other tribe that gets swallowed by the Legion. Caesar takes the tribal out of the tribe. Scrapes and burns off tattoos, breaks up families, forces mixed breeding so all the old loyalties die away. The only tribe in the Legion is the Legion. Caesar is their chief, father, and god, all rolled into one.
Okay, well,
Shoot.
how's the NCR doing?
Even Caesar knows that General Oliver's coming back to Hoover. Colonel Moore's doing a fine job of running things over at the dam. In her own way, of course, when she's not trying to wrangle my rangers into helping her. But just keeping that dam secure and operational day to day is enough work for one person. Never mind building a defense against the Legion.
Alright, can you tell me about General Oliver then?
Oh, well, now you'll have to excuse me. The General and I don't always see eye to eye on things. Maybe it's best that I just say he's a trooper, through and through. The man will not give up an inch for anything, least of all to the Legion.
Colonel Moore's way?
The Colonel's an effective commander, one of the best. But she sharpened her claws on the Vipers and the old Jackals. Did 4 tours against the Brotherhood, too. She used to be a ranger until an injury took her out of action. Happens to a lot of us, unfortunately.
Yeah, I met a
She's
couple
better
people
at
like that.
making graves than making friends. Bring in Moore and the earth will be raised. Fields will be salted.
Is Moore in charge of all the NCR troopers out here?
No, and thanks to General Oliver for that. Colonel Shue is at McCarran. Most of the new Vegas troopers are under his command. He's more sympathetic to the locals than Moore. Now that the fiends aren't giving him grief, we should see more troopers assigned to the front lines.
That's nice.
Good work on that, by the way. Hope you got good bounties out of it.
Yeah, I did. Let's talk about something else.
Shoot.
What is the Legion been up to then?
Intel says the legate's coming. Lanius. They call him the monster of the East. If he's half as bad as Graham was, we're in for a heck of a fight. With Caesar and a new legate here, the Legion's not going to fall for the same old bag of tricks.
Why do they call Lanius the monster of the East?
Oh, the usual reasons. People say he's enormous, carries a big sword, chops people's heads off. That's not what makes him a good commander, though. Folks say he came from a heck of a tough tribe. Took Caesar a long time to conquer. It was thanks to Lanius. But once Caesar broke him, he was born again. He'll go anywhere and do anything to win. Legion says he can smell weakness. Once he
Isn't that
finds out
nice?
where an army's vulnerable, he'll go to it like a dog for the throat.
How bad was Graham?
He was a missionary from Utah who hooked up with Caesar at the Grand Canyon, became his translator. Graham helped Caesar with the Blackfoots after they got captured together. Up until Hoover Dam, he was Caesar's legate. You wouldn't think a man of God could turn so brutal. Cruel to his opponents. Did the sort of things that makes you sick to talk about.
Was Graham a good commander?
He wasn't a brilliant strategist. Wasn't tactically flexible either. There was something about him, though. Menace. Indestructibility. It made everyone afraid of him. Heck, the Praetorians burned Graham 4 years ago, and some of the tribes are still afraid of him. They say the burned man still walks the land, blackens the earth wherever he sets foot.
Okay,
Shoot.
that is interesting. Tell me about the Rangers then.
I could tell you a lot if you had the time, but at my age, I'm not sure which of us would get tired first. What do you want to know?
First, I want to know, can I become a Ranger, or... well, have any good stories to tell?
Suppose it depends on what you think's good. Most folks want to hear about Hoover Dam and Boulder City, but it's a long story. If you want some tall tales about hunting down slavers or busting up gangs, talk to one of the younger rangers.
There must be something good the Rangers have done that you're proud of.
It's kind of a long one, but all right. About 25 years ago, a group of NCR settlers pushed way south into Baja. I guess it doesn't seem so far now if you look at a map, but back then they were out of ways. They built this little shanty town around a well in the middle of nowhere. Called it Rattletail.
Continue.
Word got back to one of our stations that raiders had been attacking the place. I went out with 6 rangers. We must have been on the trail for a week before we got to Rattletail. We lost one woman to night stalkers and another almost died of dehydration. When we reached the place, it's 6 shacks set up around an old well. There's over 24 bodies lying in the dunes way outside of town, and 5 men with .308 rifles crouched behind sandbags. And these bodies, these people out in the sand, they aren't raiders, aren't even heavily armed. They're just people who were trying to get to the only well in 50 miles. I didn't have to talk to the men to see that they did not care one bit. They had planted an NCR flag over the well. They would not budge until every last one of them was laid out dead and cold. So I walked up and told them there was a group of raiders coming, 100 strong. I made up some cockamamie name for them and everything. The men looked at each other, looked at us, and asked me what we were going to do about it. I told them we would take them back into NCR territory because we'd already lost 10 rangers on the way out. 10 rangers, 5 men with .308 rifles. Well, that was enough for them. They packed up what they could and we took them back north. Last I heard, they settled somewhere in Anza Borrego. Raised bighorners. Had some tough times, but it worked out okay for them. So there you go. That's my one bit of good.
That's nice. So what happened at Hoover Dam and Boulder City?
In big battles, Caesar deploys his legionaries in waves. Recruits up front, prime soldiers behind the recruits, old guard bringing up the rear. Opponents wear themselves out dealing with the first 2 waves, if they survive that long. When the veterans step up, there's not much fight left. Caesar can adapt, though, and when required, he can run any mix of legionaries as skirmishers and still retain order in the ranks. Joshua Graham, Caesar's old legate, he wasn't so flexible. When the Legion attacked Hoover Dam, General Oliver ordered his troopers back to the middle ground just after first contact. Graham pushed all of the legionaries onto the dam, filling the east side with recruits up front and veterans in the back, by the book. But once they were in, they were stuck there. Oliver's troopers were entrenched and wouldn't give a foot. That's when we ordered the Rangers and the 1st Recon sharpshooters to start picking off veteran Legion officers from a high ridge west of the dam. That only lasted about a minute before Graham ordered the back ranks to push through to the front and rush the ridge. Caused total chaos among the younger legionaries. Oliver's troopers fell back to the side walkways and stayed out of the veterans' way. By the time the veterans got to the ridge, we were already in Boulder City. They followed us down there, but we were out before they realized what was happening. We had packed the old city with C4 and dynamite. Crude, but it did the job. Those who didn't die in the blast were in no position to mount a defense. The ones left on the dam didn't know what to do. The troopers routed them. Graham pulled the remaining legionaries back, but the battle was over. He went south, back to the Grand Canyon, back to Caesar. And that was the last we saw or heard from Joshua Graham.
Wow, okay.
Shoot.
Goodbye then.
Adios.
I like all the details he has about stuff. Huh? What was that all about?
We won't go quietly. The Legion can count on that.
What? How did they even get this close? Maybe they're still chasing me. There wasn't an assassin, right? Okay, well, before anything else, I need to figure out if the ranger station is close to here. And if it is, then I need to make myself get closer to... That's Camp Golf. That's the railway. That's ranger station. So I need to get more to the left around here, I suppose. Just follow the river, perhaps. As long as the NCR doesn't mind me just going along here, it should be okay. Well, maybe, even if it's not the NCR, I'm pretty sure I have other people that probably don't want me to go this way. Ah, that burns. It burns, and it's super bright too in my face. I can't see anything. Are there more? Okay, I think my team members got the few of them too. Hunting rifle. Okay, well, I guess that will also be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. Hope to see you in the next one. And as always, stay awesome.